Hello everybody, my name is Carlos and I'm with Carlos and Jane Vlogs. This is going to be my first video for this channel. Today I wanted to bring to you an in-depth tour and review of a 1988 Ford Festiva. This will be an up-close and personal look at the vehicle. We will be taking a look at the exterior as well as interior and go over a bit of the performance and technical aspects of it as well. Alright, so let's get started. As many people may already know, the Festiva was actually a car designed by Mazda, and then Kia came into the picture to build the car as cheap labor for Ford. The United States variants came in just the two-door model, well technically three-door if you count the hatchback, whereas the other countries you could find these in four-door sedan and five-door hatchback variants. This particular Festiva is in the LX version. This is the highest model that you can get for 1988, and this car has all the options available to it, minus the underseat storage tray. Let's go ahead and start the tour now. First place is the driver's spot. There are two controls on the driver's seat. This is to move the seat forward and backwards, and this is to tilt the seat back. When you get in the vehicle, it's actually easier because of the age of the seat tracks. You pull up on this lever, you push up, and go back, forward, back. You have just regular standard visors with no mirrors on both sides. There are 4 front vents and air vents at the top, and then some air vents at the bottom. This, I believe, was a choke control for some of the other Festivas, like in the smaller markets. This is to manually control the carburetor's choke during cold starts to prevent stalling or other poor performance. Excuse me. This is just another storage tray. There we go. Here is your temperature control, fan speed, temperature, recirculating or to allow for outside air to be into the vehicle, and air direction. Here's a fun fact. In the wintertime, by design, hot air will not come out of these vents. To get hot air, switch it to the hot position, turn off the AC of course, and then put the air vents in either for the feet and upper windshield, or just the windshield alone. The Festiva LX comes with the full gauge package. This is the tachometer cluster, which is actually not very common, as most Festivas have just only a speedometer only. Also, I do want to point out that with the tachometer cluster, you get a handy trip meter. I like to monitor the mileage, but it's okay. I just wanted to show this for demonstration purposes. On average, this car can get about 36 miles per gallon, and that's going about 60 to 75 miles an hour on the highways mostly. Here's your glove box. Not much space, but it's okay actually. I'm not complaining. This car actually has its original booklets. And there's 4 speakers. 1, 2, and the other 2 are in the rear. Let's take a look at the rear. To get into the rear, there is a quick access for passengers, which you can actuate like this. Get in like this. You have a lap belt on each side to protect occupants in the rear in the event of a crash. Come out like this, and in like this. The same goes for that side as well. Now, let's turn around, and we'll take a look at what the rear of the vehicle actually looks like. There's your other speaker, and then the 4th speaker right there. In the rear, you have flip out rear windows for ventilation while you're driving, or if you're parked. It gives you a little bit of a temperature drop in case it's hot inside. To open them, you just pull on the handle, push the window out, and snap this in place. To close, just go like this. Let's take a look at what the windows look like when they're opened. The tailgate is not remote controlled or remote released. It has a key and a manual release handle. There is a fair amount of storage space in it. Another trivia, I thought the seat belt got stuck, but it was just jammed and it wasn't damaged or anything. This is a spare for one of the sides. I think it's the driver's side. Then, under this carpet, you have your spare tire. This is actually a jack out of an old BMW 3 Series Coupe from 1991. Very useful for this vehicle. So, this Festiva has the split folding rear seat. So, to move the seat out of the way, you just lift up on this handle. And then you pull on this one as well. That brings the seat down. But wait, let's say you need more room. Pull these out of the way. And then lift the seat up. It's going to be kind of hard to do with the front seats forward, or rather, the front seats pushed back. Well, actually, let's push the seats forward. Hang on. So this is what it looks like with the seat folded up and out of the way. You have a flat loading floor, which you can use to haul some stuff. A couple years ago, I decided to rebuild an engine for my grandmother's Festiva, which is actually a 93 in Aqua. And I carried the engine parts with, of course, cardboard to protect the vehicle from damage. Carried the block, the head, and just little bits of pieces here and there. When you need your seats back, just pull it back down. Can't reach it. They come down like that. Then pull the seats back. To lock the tailgate, push up on this little knob. One more thing. Here is a windshield washer reservoir to feed directly to the rear washer wiper system. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. There's a hood lever right here. And then the secondary latch is right in the center. This little label doesn't come with the vehicle. I found it on the floor and decided to super glue it there one day. So this is a 1.3 liter 4-cylinder engine with 2 valves per cylinder, not a high performance engine. It's designed by Mazda. You can see it in other cars of the era, such as some of the Miatas, like in other countries, the Protege, possibly even the 626. This particular Festiva has the dealer installed air conditioning, meaning the air conditioning was actually installed at the dealership before the car was sold. You have your compressor, your hoses, the condenser, and then of course the evaporator, which is behind that firewall. there's not really much to check here, and this car does not have power steering. So you have your oil level here, washer fluid here for the front wipers, brake fluid over here. While the transmission doesn't require regular servicing, you can actually check the level of the fluid by removing the speedometer cable, which is in here. Maybe a little hard to see. It screws out, and then you can pull out the speedometer gear by removing one little 10mm bolt. On this side, you have your brake fluid reservoir, where you can monitor your brake fluid. And then, of course, the battery and the coolant reservoir. Although you can also just check it here on the radiator directly. Don't do that when that's hot, of course, as you can hurt yourself or damage your vehicle. Now, let's go ahead and start the vehicle and see how it sounds. When starting a carbureted car, you always want to give it a little bit of gas. And then if it's a manual transmission, push the clutch in to release the starter safety switch, and then start the car. The key goes right here. It's a bit hot in here. Let's cool it down. Oh, we don't need the heat. AC on. There we go. Now we're gonna be cool. Let's put this back. Okay, let's turn on the lights. Got parking lights and headlights. Turn signals. And then here are the hazards. For the 5-speed manual, you have your first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and reverse. This is neutral. Normally the gear shifts are not this loose. There is actually a bushing by the transmission where the control levers are. That bushing has actually been worn out. It just has to be replaced. There's lots of forums online, or rather a large following for this type of vehicle. So those kinds of parts are readily available. You have a storage cubby here, where you can put some stuff here, and then you can put some stuff there, or you can just take it out. Put it back in. Here's another ashtray. Air vents. The radio was actually upgraded. This radio is actually out of a... Well, sorry. It's actually a Walmart radio that I purchased in 2012. This particular vehicle came with an FM, AM, digitally tuned Ford radio, which I actually miss. Since a lot of stores now sell the Bluetooth thing that you put here and then you connect to your phone through Bluetooth, I'd rather just have the Bluetooth and the original radio, as this thing has not particularly aged well. Not bad though, it's okay, it's gotten me through for the past few years. Let's take a look at the outside. I think I'll do a night drive as well, just for fun. And then a sound of the engine. Ever since I was a kid, I have grown up hearing the sound of this car. It's absolutely amazing. Let me give it a few revs. The Festiva has 12-inch tires. These are 155/80/12s. They're not too hard to find actually. The front wheels are controlled by drum brakes. The front wheels are controlled by disc brakes. The rear wheels are drum, the older style. The front of the vehicle has an independent front suspension. The rear suspension is semi-independent. Alright, let's take the car for a drive. Okay, so now it's time for the actual drive. This is the fun part. There's a lot of road noise, but this car does have a lot of power. Let's do it fast. About 75 miles an hour. Now, let's go ahead and pull over and do a brake test. That wasn't too long. Okay, so since we're here, let's go ahead and do a 0 to 60, or rather 0 to 70, the speed limit. all, I think this is a very good car. It's efficient, it looks good, it's reliable, spacious, very, very nice. Give me a Lamborghini or a Ferrari and I still would not get rid of this car. This concludes our video for today. I hope you liked it, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to enable the notifications. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.